Hey guys, what's up? This is ScherBR talking and I'm back for another challenge of a Midsummer's Night Stroll event. This time we'll be covering the RS1, SF1, ES and other series that is considered by most the hardest one, I believe, because we are locking into using a limited range of support. Well, you still have some things that if you got in the past will help you a lot here, and I did use a different formation this time, that's Whirlwind. Why? Let's explain this. The important character here is Itoken. He's back in the game and it's because of Heroes War Song. This is a skill that has delay and it cleanses all status elements while also healing a little and recovering HP. The good thing is that if your boss is poisoning you, you will recover and cleanse before poison damage appears. So Itoken is actually very nice for this fight and you can stack many BP to start the boss fight with a lot so that he never runs out. He can also give you another healing in BP by the end of a turn, and it's actually pretty defensive. And we have other support that's pretty popular, that is Thyme, and Rose buffs Endurance, Will, Love and Charisma. Love and Charisma is nice because that will allow you to still heal a little during this fight. Yes, you will, even if the boss debuffs you a lot. And sometimes it may be even interesting to use Rose twice in a row to stack more buffs instead of just healing in overdrive with Thyme. And he applies guard up as well, so you get even less damage. You should start with 20 BP so that you can use whatever you want. Then we have another support that was pretty popular, GLEX Diana. We have Prayer for Peace that buffs Endurance Will, heals and also cleanses. But the cleanse part is not important because you have Itoken. If you do not have both, one will suffice, but you have to bring something else. But she buffs Endurance and Will, that will decrease the chances of being poisoned and the damage from most attacks. She also has Wild Rose. I actually used this before the end of the fight on my Itoken to heal him. Now we have two strong damage dealers, and those are Silver, UDX style because she's more defensive. And I inherited Dragon Force and used Sia Holding Dragon Kick. It's strong enough, you don't need to use Acrobatic Thunder. And she can be placed on the front line of Whirlwind. And again, why am I using Whirlwind? Because this one increases the defense of the first 3 units. And it debuffs Love, but it barely matters anyway. And she is pretty fast. She will attack before the boss right on start. But we have support from the older damage dealer, that is Lyza. I'm using the second summer Lyza. You can use the first one, GLEX style, if you want. It's just that this one can use Wave Rush many times in a row. This one buffs agility, and because we have very high agility already with at least these 2 attackers, we will evade some attacks. That's important because the damage is good and this is fast. But if you don't, you can just bring the first summer and even stack more defenses in that version. She is much more defensive. But the damage is good and it will just increase the damage of the Silver as well. So they pair much well together. As for the equipments, in bringing accessories that decrease the chance of being inflicted with poison. But there's also this equipment called Assassin's Belt that helps a lot as well. And I try to fix the resistance of all my characters. Remember that you still have to focus more on Blunt and Pierce. That's what the enemy focus on. Now, as for replacements, Chooser works well if you don't have any other damage dealer. Galahad also works well. You can cycle through his Ice Crush and Confitted Ice Cream Bar. His damage is gonna be strong. And if you don't have either Itoken or Diana or even Thyme, you can use Cross J Mew, and Blade Stab keeps morale up and guard up to increase the damage and resistance. There is also Rouge, but his damage was not helping me as much. But you can inherit a lightning attack and he's gonna do a lot. But I prefer to go with 2 damage dealers and 3 supporters. Sif with inheritance of her Whale attack is also good because it buffs STR and Will, but you have to use this version here. It's much better if you have. And there is a Sword version of Princess White Rose that can clear debuffs. I just don't have it. And the latest version of Barber is another contender for support. Well, that's it. Let's watch the run.